Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're heading into some really unexpected territory, some unsettling places, actually. Mm-hmm. We're diving into a set of personal accounts. These are raw stories, the kind that really stick with you.
Absolutely. They're quite powerful.
Our source material for this deep dive, it comes from excerpts from the transcript of a video. It was called 5 Scary True Stories from Europe.
Right, from the Lazy Masquerade YouTube channel.
Exactly. And these aren't made up. They're real experiences.
Yeah.
Shared by people or their families about these moments. Just chilling moments where life took a really dark turn.
Yeah, things they absolutely didn't see coming. And our goal here, it isn't just to relay the scary details. It's more about digging underneath that.
Okay.
What lessons are hiding in these stories? What do they tell us about, say, human resilience or instinct? Or even just the kind of hidden dangers that might be right there under the surface of everyday life. What can you learn from them about safety or trusting your gut? Or just the sheer courage people find sometimes.
Right, that hidden strength. Okay, let's get into it. Our first story, it takes us back a bit. Mid-1980s, London.
Hot, muggy day, central London.
And the setup is just incredibly poignant. We're talking about a mother only 6 weeks postpartum, and she was in a really fragile state.
Yeah, still unwell apparently. Depressed too after a miscarriage and then a really tough pregnancy with the new baby.
She'd lost weight, didn't even show until, 8 months?
Right. And there was a near-death experience during the birth itself. The baby had health issues too. Just layer upon layer of difficulty.
Completely exhausted, physically, emotionally.
Yeah.
Just drained.
And yet she had this one urgent thing she had to do.
Get a passport for the baby. They needed to move abroad to Israel. That was the goal.
She's at the Spanish embassy first, which sounds like it was just a frustrating long wait.
Yeah.
Just missed her around, basically.
Right. More stress she didn't need.
And then heading to the tube station, more delays. It's hot. She's carrying the baby in a papoose right on her chest.
Yeah. And that's when she sees him.
This guy. Tall, heavily built, just staring.
That classic unnerving start, just the stare.
Exactly. Sets your teeth on edge immediately.
So what happens? It escalates quickly, I gather.
Very quickly. He comes over, tries to get it on with her, as the account puts it. Crude remarks.
And she points to the baby.
Right. Tells him, look, I'm a married mother, not interested. But he just doesn't stop.
He keeps going.
Yeah, gets more aggressive, keeps insisting. Then he starts trying to touch her.
Oh no! Are people seeing this?
Apparently, yeah. Other commuters were starting to notice, but nobody stepped in at this point.
Epical.
And then it gets really bad. He grabs her, tries to pull her towards the tube steps.
Towards the steps? Why?
And he was specifically reaching for the baby in the papoose. She realized later, his idea was probably to throw both of them off balance onto the tracks, maybe.
That's just beyond comprehension. Targeting the baby like that. So what does she do in that moment, knowing her baby's in danger?
This is where it just flips. Yeah. She describes it herself as a red haze.
Primal instinct kicking in?
Totally. All she knew was her baby was in danger, and she was just so ill and fed up. She wasn't going to be pushed around anymore.
So she fought back?
Oh, yeah. Despite being small, she somehow gets free and just goes at him, punching, scratching, kicking, everything she had.
Wow.
He's screaming she's crazy, threatening to kill her, but she just keeps fighting him off.
And the other commuters?
It took a few seconds, but yeah, the shock wore off, and they finally realized, okay, we need to do something. They stepped in.
Thank goodness. But then the really horrifying part comes out later, doesn't it? About what he was carrying.
Right. After he's arrested, one of the commuters comes up to her, says something like, that was incredibly brave, but also incredibly stupid.
Why stupid?
She asks why, and he points to the guy being taken away and tells her, the man had a knife.
Oh my God.
He'd been trying to use it to stab both her and the baby while she was fighting him off.
She didn't even know.
Had no idea until that moment. The reality just hits her, and she just breaks down, starts crying.
Gosh. This story, it just powerfully shows how extreme vulnerability, especially protecting your child, can just unlock this extraordinary strength.
That red haze, yeah. Pure survival instinct that defied her physical state.
And it's such a stark reminder, too, that danger can be right there in the most ordinary places, like a tube platform.
Absolutely. And it also highlights how important bystander intervention is. Even if it takes a moment for people to react, it can make all the difference.
Truly incredible story. That protective instinct is something else.
It really is. Just raw survival.
Okay, so from the busy London underground, let's shift gears. Our next story takes us to a much quieter setting. A Scottish row house.
A couple named Angus and Fiona. And a really chilling encounter right inside their own home.
So Angus and Fiona, they split their time, right? Big house in the Highlands and then this other place.
Yeah, this tiny utilitarian row house in Aberdeen, right by the North Sea. It's actually an old fishing cottage they'd renovated.
Sounds quite charming. Cobblestone streets.
Picturesque, yeah. Apparently so much so that sometimes tourists would just wander in thinking it was open to the public or something.
Bit awkward. But that sort of hides a darker side to this story, doesn't it? Their habits.
Right. They used to be pretty lax, is the word used, about locking their doors at night, which changed after this.
I bet. So what happened?
They're asleep. Small bedroom in the Aberdeen house. And Angus, he's ex-military, he suddenly wakes up, just has this sick feeling that something's wrong.
Good instinct again.
Exactly. It's dark, his eyes are adjusting, but he scans the room and sees slight movement at the foot of their bed.
Oh no, that's terrifying.
And Fiona, his wife, wakes up too, gasps. They both clearly see him now. The unmistakable figure of a man in dark clothing.
Just standing there at the foot of their bed. I can't even imagine that feeling. What did Angus do with his background?
Well, his reaction was instant. Military training, maybe. Jumps out of bed, fists ready, yelling, "What the hell are you doing in our house?"
Right, confrontational. And the intruder.
This is the really unsettling part. The intruder was just calm, didn't panic, didn't run.
What did he do?
Just stood there for a second, then quietly says, "Sorry, wrong house," and turns around and walks out.
Just walks out. Sorry, wrong house. That's almost creepier than if he'd freaked out.
Much creepier. So
Yeah.
calm, so casual.
And then they found out about the phone lines.
Yeah. Angus follows him out, makes sure he's gone, slams the deadbolt. Fiona immediately says, "Call the police."
Makes sense.
But they pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Dead. No dial tone.
Oh, wow.
And that's when Angus checks outside, or wherever the lines were. They'd been cut.
Cut phone lines. That changes everything. That's not just a random break-in or someone wandering into the wrong house.
Exactly. That implies planning.
Yeah.
Premeditation. Cutting the lines suggests he wanted them isolated, unable to call for help. It makes the whole sorry, wrong house thing feel incredibly sinister.
It really does. This story, it's such a reminder about home security, isn't it? Even in places that feel safe, you can't be complacent.
Absolutely not. That perceived safety is dangerous. Lock your doors, check your windows.
Yeah.
Basic stuff, but critical. The calm intruder is often the most dangerous.
Chilling. Okay, moving from home security to a very different kind of protection. Our third story has this really fascinating and frankly terrifying backstory.
This one involves the narrator's mother.
Right. She was born and raised in Chechnya, described as crime-ridden and old-fashioned near the Caucasus Mountains.
And known for a very strict eye for an eye culture.
Yes. And on top of that, her Russian family was apparently very involved in the mob.
Right. Specifically, her great-uncle, just called K in the story. He was supposedly a leader of a powerful mob back in the late 60s. Pretty well known, apparently.
Quite the family history. So, the incident itself, the mother is 20, on break from medical school, decides to visit the Black Sea.
Yeah, gets there a day early, wants to enjoy the beach, sunbathes, falls asleep.
Oh, dear.
And wakes up with severe heat stroke. Really bad. On the verge of fainting, needs help fast.
So she needs to get back to her hotel, presumably. Tries to get a taxi.
Desperately. Makes it to the road, starts hailing cabs, takes several minutes, then this expensive private car pulls up. You know, one of those unofficial taxis that look like regular cars?
Okay. But there's someone else inside already.
Yeah, another man already in the passenger seat. But she was so ill, so desperate, she just thought, I need to get in. Caution went out the window.
Understandable, given the state she was in. But when did she realize this was a bad decision? A very bad decision.
Pretty quickly. The alarm bells start when the car drives right past her hotel.
Oh, no.
Then, even worse, they turn off the main road, drive into the woods.
Okay, that's terrifying. And she's vulnerable, right?
Extremely. She's described as being petite, 5 feet tall, and incredibly thin. She's wearing just a bathing suit and a cover-up dress. And she's still sick from the heat stroke. Physically, she has no chance against 2 men.
So no physical defense possible. What did she do? This is where the family connection comes in, isn't it?
It is. It's brilliant and utterly terrifying. She realized words were her only weapon.
What did she say?
She just comes out with it, boldly. "I don't know if you know who I am," she starts, "but I'm Kay's niece, and my family is from Chechnya."
Wow, just lays it out there.
And then she warns them, straight up, "If you do anything to me, my family, especially my uncle, will find you and kill you. And not just them, your parents and any relatives you may have." She just kept going, apparently, talking about her family, Chechen customs, the whole eye for an eye thing.
Using that reputation as a shield, that's incredible nerve. How did the men react?
It had a huge impact. The driver actually stopped the car.
Really?
Yeah. And then, amazingly, he sort of confirms it. Says he knew some guys in the army who knew her uncle, knew about the Chechen culture, the whole eye for an eye. He knew the threat was real.
He believed her.
Totally. There was just this immediate, silent understanding between them. A mutual agreement, as the story puts it.
So they just took her back.
Drove her right back to her hotel in complete silence, dropped her off. She never saw them again.
What a story. It's amazing how that piece of information, her family background, which is just history normally, suddenly became this incredibly powerful weapon.
It really is. It shows how knowing your environment, knowing the local culture, the power dynamics, even the dangerous ones, can sometimes offer protection when nothing else will.
Using knowledge as leverage in a life or death situation, incredible.
Unexpected leverage, definitely. Saved her life.
Okay, our fourth account now. We're moving to Germany. This happened in 1992 or 93.
And the narrator was young here, about 8 or 9 years old.
Right, on one of those annual school trips. This one was in Lower Saxony. The setup sounds pretty standard: bunk beds, a rec room.
Yeah, and glass door leading outside. That becomes important.
So initially it's just kids being kids, right? Staying up late, joking around.
A bit scared of the dark outside, apparently, so they kept the curtains closed. Then one kid, a friend named Dennis, decides to pull a prank.
What does he do?
Runs outside to try and scare the others through the glass door or window.
Okay, typical kid stuff. But then it changes.
It really does. Dennis comes back in. But then, a little later, they see something moving outside again.
Not Dennis this time.
Doesn't seem like it. The teacher comes, calms them down, closes the curtains again and leaves. But Dennis, being curious,
goes out again.
Yeah. And the narrator gets worried, follows him out.
And sees what?
Sees some guy picking Dennis up and vanishing in the dark.
Oh my God. Picks him up.
Yeah. The narrator calls out Dennis's name. A few moments pass, and Dennis reappears. But he's laughing.
Laughing after being picked up by a stranger.
Yeah, it tells the narrator it was a fun game and that the narrator should try it.
That is incredibly creepy, a fun game. What happens to the narrator?
The narrator's next clear memory is being in the man's arms, being carried away from the hostel, seeing the lights getting further away. The narrator starts struggling, yelling for help. Says the man was pressing his chest so tightly.
Hard to breathe.
Sounds like it. And the man's response is just chilling. He says, "It was fun, and I shouldn't worry."
Fun! It's just absolutely terrifying. It gets even worse, though, doesn't it?
It does. The man starts to strangle the narrator.
Strangling a child.
But then somehow, this 8 or 9-year-old kid finds this incredible strength,
Yeah.
manages to grab the man's hand, pull it away from his neck.
Wow.
And the man says something unforgettable. He asks, "Why are you so strong?"
Chilling question. What happens then?
The narrator kicks him in the leg and just runs. Runs back to the hostel.
Manages to escape, thank goodness. But the aftermath, the way the adults handled it is just baffling.
It's really disturbing. So the math teacher apparently catches the guy, but then another teacher talks to the narrator and calls him a liar.
A liar after being abducted and nearly strangled.
Yeah, tells him not to tell his parents, just dismisses the whole thing.
That's awful. What about the police?
Police do come the next morning, but they bring this boy with them, described as maybe a teen or early